Brad, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, there we go. Sometimes you wonder whether technology is working in your favor or against you. Where are you out of?
Phoenix.
Ah, gotcha. And what do you do?
So I own my company's called Renovation Cells. I'm a general contractor. I also have a broker's license, but I don't practice real estate. And I partner with realtors and real estate companies uh, to work with their clients on turnkey properties, getting them ready to put on the market. We do it quick. We do it affordably. We have pay at close options. So basically, I'm in the real estate agent business. I don't market myself as to the general public. I just look to partner with agents and brokerages, kind of help them stand out, give them a tool. They can market themselves as the renovate to sell agent, and try to create that
Do
win-win where they put 50 grand in and get 100 out.
yeah, do me a big favor. In the chat room or in the chat, put your credentials, but I'd really love to hear if you could keep it really short and sweet of exactly what you're doing. Because I love referring business. That's what I do. I'm a
And I,
link I'm a LinkedIn management guy. So I don't work for LinkedIn. I've got my own company, done it for umpteen thousand years. And so I help people with that stuff.
oops, I hit enter and just my name went up there. Okay.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
I'll include my website. You get a lot of information there.
Yeah, everything helps. It's not one thing anymore today. It's everything. Like my favorite saying is you can't do one thing anymore, you have to do everything. Hi there.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Is this the very first session of a new networking group you're starting?
No,
Or-
not really. I've been running this group for a couple years. I co-hosted it with another gentleman, and then he decided to finally go in a different direction. I don't know if you know him, Breck Rice.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Breck and I worked together for a long, long time. So
Okay.
that's what this meeting all emanated from. So he and I were running it together, and then he's moving in a different direction. So how do you know Breck?
Um, I've attended some of his Tuesday. I remember you from being on some of his things, but now he does like 1 o'clock on Tuesdays with a doctor and energy guy, EMF guy.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Well, whoever stays static, we're always something new is always coming along, isn't it?
that's right. You got to try new things. That's right.
Yep. Yep. We had a ton of people registered for this meeting. So it'll be very interesting to see how many people actually show up. But, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. And then we have another gentleman here, Matt.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, but excited to join, just kind of get to know everyone and see what's going on.
Well, is is this back to school week
Uh,
for where you guys are at?
I'm in Arizona. It was last week, 2 weeks ago now at this point. 2 weeks ago from today, August 1st was kind of first day of school going
Wow.
back. So
And I'm in Washington and it doesn't start for 2 weeks.
yeah, very different school schedules, kind of interesting. It seems like schools here are converting more to the year-round school kind of schedule, which is
Mm.
interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
uh
Interesting.
seems to be the direction that these are going.
Wow,
Mhm.
this is kind of interesting stuff because we actually had 154 people register for today.
Wow.
Wow.
Big number, but I don't see them showing up here.
Wow.
We got
Yeah, but you know what? When you create something good, people will follow.
Yep,
Isn't that how it works?
that's
I
right.
mean, that's what
Absolutely.
Merrill's all about, right?
that's right.
I
You know,
just started doing a Wednesday morning Zoom call for agents called Coffee with Brad. And I had 2 agents registered yesterday. Neither one of them showed up.
Oh,
It'll get going though.
Yeah.
yeah. It's the
Slow rolling.
consistency that matters, right? You got to keep doing it until it happens.
Yeah, I have another group that I've been running for about pre-COVID for like 5 to 7 years. And we consistently have over 30 people show up at that meeting. And
Wow.
it's run every single solitary week. And
Wow.
the other part that is so exciting about it, we call it a networking referral group. We used to call it a mastermind. We changed it to a networking referral group. And we get to announce, we're trying to figure out a better way of announcing when one individual has referred business to another individual. It makes a huge amount of difference. So Jada, are you there?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
All we see is a gray screen. Jada.
Hi, everybody. Right now I'm like, well, I might not show my picture right now, but I'm here. Very nice to see you all.
Okay. Nice to be seen. All right. Well, looks like people will be filtering in. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go around the room and people introduce themselves? So who wants to go first?
I'll go. I'm Brad McCaughey, in Phoenix, Arizona. I have a company called Renovation Sells. It's a national company. It's a franchise I bought here. I'm a general contractor. I partner with realtors and brokerages to work with their clients on turnkeying their properties to put on the market so that they sell fast and for the most amount of money. That's the primary product. So we do renovations.
Fantastic.
To
just
sell.
nice. Bring it down and put it back.
Okay, Brad, thank you so much.
I'll go
Diane.
next. I'm Diane Rosso out of the state of Washington. And I work with people. My friend Patrick does the same. We work with people getting the garbage out of their body so that their body can heal itself. So focused on getting heavy metals, parasites, chemicals, all from the air we breathe, water we drink, food we eat, meds we take. Get that out so that you can heal from the cellular level. Diane Rosso is SIA Global.
Yeah, make sure you put your contact information
I will.
into the chat room, including a phone number so we can get in touch with
Okay.
you, except for Patrick.
No phone for Patrick?
Well, considering where he is. Unless you want to, Patrick, go ahead. Why don't you tell us who you are? You must be on mute.
I am on mute. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to see you, Diane, again. And look at, money and health are very linked. When you have a pile of money, or enough money, you don't think about it, you know. When your health is good, you don't think about it either. But I think we need to be, as we are with money and health, we need to strive for not being in trouble with either money or health. And you've spoken about this before, Bob, you know, do simple things consistently well and all that. But I reading some figures the other day that 4 out of 10 Americans have a chronic health problem, and 6 out of 10 have more than one chronic health problem. So this opens up how healthcare is very different from disease care. And nothing happens in the body without, or in any cell without receiving a signal. And when is the last time you brought your body into balance? And the first step is awareness of optimum health, which can now be achieved using redox signaling molecules. And what is so interesting about this technology is that it goes beyond nutrition. We think that if we eat well and hydrate and all that, we think we're doing the right thing, and we are. However, this goes beyond nutrition, beyond ingredients, and impacts every system and every organ and function in the body that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. And look, I can share more with you if you're interested. My details are in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for speaking. Okay, so Diane went, Brad went. Jada, you're up next.
Hi everybody, I am Jada. I'm a software engineer. So if you guys anybody needs somebody to do your website stuff like that, I can help. You know, yeah, and I'm also here just to meet more people because I work remotely. So so I wanted to expand my connection a little bit, know more local people. I can see like some people are struggling, and our community sometimes I can feel in the air. So I'm wondering if there's anything I can help you with, help anybody with.
Jada, where are you out of? Physically out.
I'm at North Phoenix. So the reason why I'm not in camera because my baby he's all over the place grabbing my face, stuff like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm originally from Hong Kong and I've been living at Phoenix for 5 years now.
Well, I just requested your connection, so it's always on LinkedIn. So it's always nice finding that out. All right. All right. And next we have Matt.
Cool. We got a number of Arizona people in here, which is cool. I'm in Gilbert, Arizona. Kind of born and raised here, but I like Patrick's little spiel about the importance of money and taking care of that. I'm a financial planner at Merrill Lynch, and so we are very involved in working with individuals, families, small businesses to accomplish that and take care of that, the money side of life. You know, it's cool working at Merrill Lynch. A large firm like this obviously has some name recognition, but also we have our own personal team. I'm on a team of 6, and so we have our little bubble that we take care of you. You work with us and get good things going on to help your money work for you and not start working on it when it becomes a problem like your health. So but yeah, Matt Montague at Merrill Lynch.
Good to have you here. You know, what's kind of ironic, we had 154 people register for today's event. And the sad part is it's not that many people showing up. So,
But the important ones are here.
I like kind of a
Yes.
closer knit group. I mean, in many ways that it provides some more in-depth conversation, getting to know each other, what we do and stuff like that. So it's cream of the crop.
Totally agree.
Yeah, no, this is all good stuff. I've been running networking groups for lots and lots of years. And one of the things we call ourselves is a networking referral group because the objective is to give referrals, right, Patrick? You've been to quite a few of our meetings. That's the essence of what we're trying to do is how do you they say that 60% of most people's new business comes from a referral. Anybody familiar with BNI?
Yeah.
Okay, so BNI, Business Network International, started by a guy named Dr. Ivan Meisner. And he started BNI some 40 plus years ago. They have over 200,000 members worldwide. And it's very ritual based. Their motto is givers gain. So before you stick your foot in your mouth by talking to somebody and trying to sell them, the first thing you want to do is help them. A lot better way to start out. So once you build a relationship with somebody, then you can sell them. But don't start out by trying to sell them right off the bat. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Anybody want to give some feedback on that? Your experiences?
There's a whole load of things going on in my head, right? And I was focusing really on what Matt came in earlier on, and people like Matt are needed. And last night I was watching a movie, Assault on Wall Street, and you may have seen that, Matt, where this guy had a whole lot of problems, wife sickness and all this kind of stuff, and he ran out of money, and then he lost his house, and he got angry, and he started. So this is about trust in a modern society. Who can we trust? And taking that a little bit further, when you're approached, how verifiable trust. And this is going to become more important as we delve further into AI and all its magic, and not so magic. But verifiable trust is essential. So in terms of, for what you do, Matt, how can we say, I can trust Matt? Well, I'm picking on you, Matt.
I like it. I like it. That's a great question. We like to say know, like, trust are kind of the three critical elements. I mean, and so you asked the question, how do people get to trust me and my team and what we do? Spend time. You get to know me, I get to know you. We see if this is a fit, and then we'll show you. We'll give you different perspectives and stuff like that, and show you. And that trust, we've all heard the phrase takes years to build, seconds to burn. And so we totally operate on that. Do our best to give you good solutions to what's going on, and to just be there when you have questions, stuff like that. And so obviously up front, getting to know each other, but really the long-term trust, we'll show you. We'll earn it by helping you.
I agree. And there's so many things we do have to trust, like investments and pension funds and all that kind of stuff. But this is a dynamic market, and there's so many moving parts that you can't control them all. I'm not saying you could ever control them all, but do you see where there are two things in our lives that are invisible? One is fear, and the other is faith. So people get into fear more easily than they get into faith. But how can you you stop? It's my grandson.
I love it.
He's, will you stop? Will you stop? And so that, I think that's a challenge for you, Matt, and your team. And but it's a challenge for all of us, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse in terms of verifiable trust. That's I think, will you stop?
I mean, we live in a day and age where we're inundated with info, facts, all that kind of stuff. And so it is getting harder and harder to sift through that to find someone that you like, know, and trust, to do all kinds of stuff, whether it's renovations for homes, for your own health, or software engineering. I mean, it's all.
Well, and Patrick and I spend a lot of time focusing on wordsmithing to help people understand what cell signaling is, what it means to allow the body to heal from within. How do you say that in such a short period of time? And the bottom line is, the longer I've been around this product and just, healing from within by putting right things in and getting wrong things out, there isn't an easy cliche way to help people understand, because they've been so programmed by Western medicine that a pill will fix it by tomorrow. And the truth is, the pills only make it worse. So the know, like, trust is just a given in any industry that we're in. We have to meet people. We have to spend time with them. We have to understand where they're coming from, and the giving is key. I spend a lot of time sharing tidbits that have nothing to do with the products that I present, but everything to do with what you can do with honey, and what you can do with eliminating sodas, and how you can eat apricot seeds to attack cancer cells and different things like that, so that people know I'm just not about selling a product. So it's just, those are the kinds of things that I try to do to help people get to know me better and who I am.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate your words of thought that didn't just spring up out of nowhere. They come from somewhere. At my father's funeral, I talked about honesty and integrity, that my dad handed me honesty and integrity, and I'm taking it with me the rest of my life. So, and then one other little minor subject, I was with NATO during Vietnam. So instead of going to Vietnam, I was in the Navy. Instead of going to Vietnam, out of nowhere, I get assigned to NATO. And I ended up having two, and most people don't know this, but I had 2 levels above top secret. People don't even know that those exist. So I had what was called an atomal, which was a classified term in this days, cosmic, which was NATO top secret clearance. And so I got to see everything. I got to see spy reports. I got to see, back in those days, it was out of East Germany and all that stuff. So you can't, I mean, you're right. It takes it takes time to begin to understand people and trust them. You're not going to do it at the flick of a switch. So and that's why I cherish our meetings that I have. I talk about this all the time because I run several networking groups, and I talk about, you got to start with the integrity and the BNI type of mentality of what it all represents. So all you have is your word. That's all you take with you is your word. So that's the vital components of Or I'd love to get some feedback, some other pearls of wisdom from people. Anybody want to share something? Nothing? Do you believe in what I said?
I have a two question. So first one is, Brad, where's your business based at? Brad.
Yeah, well, the North Phoenix is technically the name of my business, Renovation Sales North Phoenix. However, I'm the only owner in Phoenix, and so I work with real estate agents. So I go all over the place right now. I've done jobs down in Gilbert, Chandler. I'm trying to focus on North Phoenix so I can kind of stay where I'm at, but it's kind of all over the North Valley. I personally live in North Peoria, so that's kind of
Oh, nice.
where I'm at.
Nice. I live here too. Yeah, really close. Do you have an agent that you work with?
Well, I have a lot of agents, and that's what I'm trying to do is get in front of agents. So I'm in the real estate agent business. I've owned this business for a year. I will say everything you said, Bob, about your word is your bond, and that's kind of true. So one of the nice things about this business model that I do is I don't have a ton of competition because I have a very niche market for realtors. However, the buck ends with me, and if the homeowner's not happy and the agent isn't happy, I'm out of business. So when someone wants to know about what I do, I'm an open book here. I've worked with this agent, I work with this agent, I work with this agent, go get some feedback from them. So
Can you shoot me a LinkedIn contact? Because my sister, she's selling her home.
LinkedIn contact. Yes, I can. How do I do that, Bob?
Oh,
Um,
I can. I think if I take down Jada's information, my wife is an agent, so I'm not. I have a real estate license. I've been in the industry for 20 years, but I don't practice anymore. My wife
oh,
does.
okay.
She's up in this area, so
yeah,
I
I'm,
think
I'm
I just need to get her information and then find her and share. Right, Bob?
right.
Okay.
Right. Or you can go direct, you're on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, how about let me send you one?
Okay.
And then yeah, and the other question, like how I guess it's just nice to see people, and when you talk to people face to face from different like profession, different background, you always learn something. And it's also like nice behind this digital world that you get to talk to people face in face. And then instantly you get to trust them a little bit more rather than a Google search or something else.
True.
Or like a
So
LinkedIn
that's a great
face.
statement. Yep.
And so you mentioned earlier, like just the power of referrals. I mean, I think that's what cuts through the weeds a lot of times. I mean, just because I can Google search realtors or how to fix my health on Google, and it'll give me, I don't know, 1,000 different ways. But to know individuals that I can have a real conversation with, they can talk to me about it, um, or even more so if my wife says, hey, I found someone that does this and it's worked great for me, I'm going to do it too. And so referrals are a powerful source.
Yeah. Yeah, just copying down some of this information, by the way, because I take hand notes in case I lose something. Um,
I just sent you something, Jada.
Oh,
It was way too
nice.
easy.
Nice. Thank
Technology
you.
these days.
Yes. Thank you.
You know, in some of the networking groups too, they're doing what they call shout outs. And people that have done business with other people that are in the room, and they, speak to their experience, then that gives the rest of us who have never met these folks before an opportunity to hear more about them. So I think it's great to hear each individual talk about themselves, but it's even more wonderful when, like, if Bob were to say, yeah, I've known Brad for 10 years and I've done business with them, and I've done this and I've done that. Those kinds of things really help us to bridge those gaps of quality time spent with the individual when you hear somebody else talking about them too.
So true, so true.
So
They say, by the way, that it takes about 30 seconds for you to get the feeling of the person when they're
Mhm.
speaking,
Mhm.
because you can read that right off the bat, right? And so I rely, that's why I love doing these Zoom meetings. I used to, 5 years ago, we all went face to face, right?
Right.
So this one group that I've had that's been together meets every Friday. In fact, you're all welcome to come to the meeting, see what it's all about, etc. Um, you get the feeling of when you're hearing them, because everybody goes around and gives their 1 minute elevator pitch about who they are. And we just had another gentleman join on, David Mannion. So love to see this group grow a bunch if we could. So David, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Can hear you fine.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm just having technical difficulties here.
Yeah, you got up this morning, in other words, right?
I did. I'm just here to check out what this is about and how I can add value and how I can work with the group here. That's all.
Well, David, tell us who you are.
I'm working on my camera here. Sorry guys.
It's okay.
I've lived in the Valley a little over 8 years now, originally from the East Coast. Former corporate executive in leadership in a transitional period right now while I'm launching what is morphing into a business advisory platform where I come in and more or less lead entrepreneurs and owners of companies of how to prepare for an exit or succession. And I work them through a process that actually prepares them to take a bite of the apple on the way out the door versus just shutting the company down and not really getting much on the exit.
So would you say uh somewhat like a business broker?
No, I'm not a business broker. I would not be participating in any kind of commission. It's really when a company owner or CEO decides to exit their business and they attempt to liquidate or sell the business, whether it's through a broker or a sell side M&A firm, there's an 80% fail rate. So they have a very high likelihood of failure of getting anything near the value of the business, intrinsically speaking. And that's because they're focused on what they know about the business. A lot of entrepreneurs are great at vision. They're great at starting companies. They're great at even, in some cases, growing those businesses. But they know what they know and they don't know what they don't know. So when they go to sell a company, they think it's just flipping a switch or listing a property like listing your home. You're going to list your company with a business broker or somebody else. There's so much more that goes behind the scenes before you get to that decision and take that action. And I lead them through a process to ensure that the metrics of the company, not just financial metrics, but operational metrics, are in line with the qualified buyer audience out there to maximize value on exit.
This is great stuff, because I've got two people that I'd like to introduce to you. So let me do that. By the way, would any or all of you like to come to a Zoom meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.?
Is this in addition to what we're doing today, or is this what's the focus tomorrow?
Because you're gonna hear from a number of people. We routinely have in excess of 30 people show up this one group. And they have we have a very formalized way of going around the room, and everybody gets 1 minute to introduce themselves. And there are all sorts of businesses. So I think it just kind of adds a little bit more dimension to networking and referral groups.
Are these businesses, do you happen to know the size of the business? Sorry.
It's all over the board.
Yeah.
All over the board.
Yeah.
Are you targeting a specific size business, David?
Yeah, normally got to be at least 2.5, 3 million EBITDA. So that's probably north of 12 million top line revenue, 15 million plus top line revenue.
And how are you finding them?
Databases, networking, meeting people like you, others who are networked in the business community who know someone or know somebody who knows somebody who might have an interesting grabbing coffee and just really kind of, going through, informally sort of what it is that could be done. I also didn't mention this earlier, but I think it's worth mentioning. If anybody on here is familiar with the Entrepreneur Operating System, EOS, there is a new system called EGS, which is Entrepreneur Growth System. It's not related to EOS at all. And a pretty well-known YPO speaker, Tamara Laura. I don't know if anybody knows Tamara or not, but she's pretty vocal on this EGS system, and I'm being certified to run that. And in that case, the businesses don't have to be huge, right? But on the succession advisory or the exit advisory platform, I tend to work with larger. I can't work with somebody whose top line revenue is like maybe $1 million or $500,000. It's just not going to be enough value for the owner or myself. And there's a lot that has to be done. You got to have the resources to get it done, and so it requires typically a larger enterprise to take full advantage of the process that I create.
That always helps. So let me first get you into some of the intro. I gotta write these down. Intro to can't think of his name. Mehdi, you there? Who's the guy that has the business systems?
Yes.
Who's the gentleman that has the business systems that meets every Friday?
Okay, I will invite him.
To this meeting? Is that what you're saying? No,
Yes.
no, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I want to introduce David to several of the people in the group because they're serious players. So let's get that together. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay. And then Diane, I have a name here. Is Diane Rosso? Oh, that's Diane. Okay, got it.
Diane Rosso, yeah.
Yep, got it. All right.
And how do we attend tomorrow? Is there a link?
Mehdi, you there?
Yes. Yes.
Can you invite the people in this group
Yes.
to tomorrow's Friday
Tomorrow
8 a.m. meeting?
Sure, I will invite him.
Okay.
That'd be
Perfect.
great. I would love to come too.
Yeah, it's look, if you've got people that meet on a routine basis and they're giving each other pearls of wisdom, don't you think that's value? We're technically back to school now, right? For people in Arizona, school just started this week for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Is that true?
Yep.
So from there, it gives you, I thought the numbers would be a lot bigger than they are today. We had 154 people register for the meeting, and 8 people attended. So that sucks. But the good part of this is the people that are attending here are creating some solidness behind who they are. And I think, what we will do is Mehedi, can you have each one of these people, can you connect with me with them on LinkedIn if they're not already a connection?
I make sure.
Mehedi is the head of my social media. He attends all my meetings like this, and he manages my LinkedIn account. And so we're gonna invite several of you, because I don't know if all of you are, first level connections to me on LinkedIn or not. By the way, maybe I'll tell you guys now that you haven't asked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I want to know whatever you were just about to say. I'm in.
My favorite thing to say is if you don't have something to laugh about, you shouldn't be speaking, right? So I got into social media. I got into the internet, I should say, when a 300 megabyte hard drive was the size of a washing machine and $40,000 to $50,000. Okay. Any of you here, a lot of young people here, any of you know Max Factor company, the cosmetic company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was a director of accounting for Max Factor way back in the day. And I was actually hired by them. Norton Simon had just taken over Max Factor. I was hired to clean up all the frauds that they had. And so I started out, now this is 1971. I think it was 71, maybe 72, that that I was hired by Max Factor. The first fraud I tackled was in the accounts payable department. $220,000 fraud. Remember, this is 1971 or 72. So what's $220,000 worth today? $1.5 million, $1.7 million, right? So we're talking about a lot of money. So I was actually hired by them to clean up all the frauds, and that's when I decided my own mentality to start computerizing departments. I had taken, computer classes when I was at USC, but I decided to take it to the next level. So that I started meeting with programmers and stuff at Max Factor, and that's where I started learning all this stuff. I got so energized by it, I decided to open my own computer company. Didn't know how to sell. Okay. Tells you a little experience stuff. So when I started to open the computer company, I figured, okay, I better learn how to sell. So there's a guy named Tom Hopkins, Mastering the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. He was out of, I think it's Scottsdale. I don't know where he is now. And I started following him like it was a religion. And I got so good at it, I started winning awards from major league companies like 3M, BASF, other computer companies, et cetera, et cetera. And I became a master salesman. I started winning awards for trips to like Italy, to France, to Canada, and I became a master salesperson. Now this is I got my degree in accounting. I signed up for the CPA exam twice. Both days of the exam, I woke up and I started crying to myself. I didn't take the exam. I said to myself, I don't want to be a CPA. They're typically the most boring people in the world, right? Right? And I always tell people to this day, it's the best thing in the world that I ever did not do. By following an instinct of who I wanted to be as a person more than who I wanted to be as a business individual. So I cut my teeth based on where I wanted to go. And as a result of that, I'm here today. And I love what I do. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Anybody else ever had any kind of feelings like that? Went in directions or didn't go in directions that you did not want to go? We all have,
Right.
right? So that's really the key is follow your gut. And you got to get energized by whatever we do. Right?
Remember that.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Any other pearls of wisdom that people want to feed to this group?
I don't have a pearl of wisdom, but I guess one of the things and one of the reasons why can you give me kind of a quick little like I watched a video on what My City all is. I haven't signed up for My City yet. I actually thought that's what this was, a thing for an intro to My City. So it was intriguing and
It's combining. I'll tell you this much. I started mycity.com in 2002. And I was doing a lot of SEO work. I owned over 1,000 websites of my own. And I hired a bunch of programmers to create cookie cutter websites. And it was back in the stage when SEO, search engine, in fact, before SEO, I called it search engine placement. But SEO, the term won out. So of course I adopted SEO instead. Understanding how to move your business to a top ranking. Back in those days, it was all done by Google search and stuff like that. And
Meta
change.
tagging.
Say again?
Meta tagging.
Meta tagging. Bingo. Yep. Meta keywords, meta phrases, all these things were highly, highly essential if you wanted to get found on the internet. So I've always kind of followed that instinct. Well, guess what? What's coming along now? Anybody want to take a guess?
AI.
Say again?
AI.
Bingo. You hit the nail on the head, Patrick. Yeah, artificial intelligence is rapidly taking over. And here's another part, and I'll tell you another, we'll kind of end it with this story. So I call Mark Spitz the swimmer. Everybody know who Mark Spitz is?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I call Mark Spitz my brother-in-law. He is inseparable friends with my brother-in-law. So my nephew calls me up about a year and a half ago. And he says, you got to watch this amazing video interview of Mark Spitz. So I watched it. And I called him back. And I said, that was an amazing interview. He says, that was all artificial intelligence. That's where the world is now. And the government had meetings on this, about where are we heading? What's the future? What's real and what's not real? And if you read up, you can go into Google, and probably put in a search term, is artificial intelligence real, or is there government issues regarding that? And you're going to find articles on that. So we're heading into a very interesting period, wouldn't you say?
Hey, Bob, can you prove that you're not an AI configuration? I mean, how do we
Good
know?
question.
How can we have verifiable trust that Bob is Bob?
It really adds to the complexity. AI adds to that know, like, and trust complexity.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
who are you getting to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria Bartolomeo, thank you, did an interview with an AI figure the other day. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's almost downright frightening. Now that makes me sound very old, but it's how I feel.
No, not at
You know.
all. Not at all. I mean, this is reality.
Yeah,
So, you build trust over time. You don't build trust overnight.
that's right. That's right.
And
No, wait a minute, wait a minute. We don't know what anybody's like until we have a problem.
that's another statement.
That's a fact. Yeah. Yeah.
Or another way of looking at things, open your mind up, because you do take risk, right? We all take risk. If you don't take risk, you don't get reward.
Yeah.
So we all have to dip our toe in the water and take the temperature.
Mhm.
And you will build that trust over time. From there, you can, like what I talk about, referrals. I've already got a couple referrals. I got to make sure that we're connected on LinkedIn, but I do have a couple referrals to give to you. One gentleman is Burke Franklin. He's got a software that he's created where you can build your own business. God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a business platform for putting out your who you are, what you do type of scenario. And I'm not even saying this correctly. I'm just not thinking right off at this point. But yeah, it's all about building something that people like, and when they like it, they start talking about it, right? Isn't that what happens? So, yeah, we'll invite you to tomorrow morning's 8 a.m. meeting, LA time, and you'll get to experience some of the stuff that's in there. But it's rewarding. This stuff is rewarding. Anybody ready to turn off the mental switch? I doubt it.
No.
Right?
So I should go on and register on your My City, right? And then I put in all my contacts that I know and trust, and then people that want to meet them kind of say, hey, can you
No, I think that's jumping the gun a little bit.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, I think what we need to do is get into a discussion about what you're trying to accomplish and how to get there, and how to use either My City or our LinkedIn tools that we have been using for years, to help people grow their businesses and meet the right people, et cetera, et cetera. And I got a suspicion some of those, you you probably have a premium or a navigator account on your LinkedIn, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I had the premium, but then I got rid of it.
Any particular reason why?
So I am specifically looking to create relationships with real estate agents. And I kind of have a big network, so I just felt like not paying for it anymore and seeing if it made a difference. I used it for a while, and then I said let's not use it for a while and see if I don't. And I also don't get on social media much, so sometimes when I pay for things on social media and don't use it, I feel like I'm wasting my money. So I'm 58. I've got to learn the whole social media play, if you will.
Well, it's definitely, it's not gonna go away. And now with
Hey,
AI,
hey, this is David Mannion. I'm happy to have a sidebar with you. My brother-in-law is a GC, does a lot of renovations, and he's 61, and he really had to learn how to adopt all the social media. So I'm happy to have a sidebar with you and impart what he learned, and perhaps there's some anecdotes that you can use in your own business.
you know what all of you should do is take the chat, copy the chat um into notes, and you'll have all the contact information in there.
Boom.
All right. Well, I think we're rapidly climbing to a close. Anybody not speak yet in this group? No, I think everybody spoke.
Sorry I was late getting on the call, guys. Good to be part of it, though.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
All my
Yeah.
camera working next time.
Yeah, well, we meet every week here. We're trying to build this group and take it to a whole new level, like I've done some of the other groups that I've been running. But it's good stuff. By the way, I also run a veterans group. If anybody knows a veteran, um, you can contact or if you have some names you want to give to me. I used to run a veterans group years ago. And of course, when we met face to face, and now we're doing our veterans group by Zoom. And I'm here to support veterans as well. Okay. I think we've used up all the pearls of wisdom because I spoke too much. It was a pleasure having you all here, and thank you so much for attending. And appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bob.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Bob. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Nice to meet
Bob.
you all. Good to see you,
Have-
Patrick.
And you,
Have a-
Diane, and you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. Cool little group.
Real pleasure. Real pleasure. Yeah, look, it's always about people, isn't it? And that's
Totally.
what Merrill's all about.
Totally. And so business doesn't work well if there's no people. And so connections, making these loops, I mean, that's the key. So thanks for putting something like this together.
Yeah, no, this is fun. I enjoy this because if I can help somebody else, that means I'm helping myself as well. Right?
Yeah.
You work for a great organization. There's no question about it.
And so now I got to do my part to spread that around. But yes, it's
You're in Gilbert, right?
uh-huh.
Do you know a guy named Cameron Brown?
Cameron Brown. I don't.
He's got a he was married to my niece.
Huh.
He had his offices used to be in Gilbert, if I'm not mistaken. So, but he's a general insurance agent, and he's doing so exceedingly well. It's crazy.
Cool.
We're like friends.
Yeah, I'll have to look them up, see if there's any loops or connections. Yeah, stuff like that. So
Yeah, fun stuff. It's all fun.
Yep. I like it. And look forward to coming tomorrow too. Tomorrow morning, check that group out. So
You got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Take care.